everybody, it's PodQuest episode 161.
Woo, 161. We got a dog here.
It's September 27th, 2017.
Jeez, that's too many sevens.
It is. And I am Chris, and that's Walnut.
I'm Walnut.
And you can't see her, but down here on the floor is Kaylee, and she's
dog.
actually being a good girl.
She's a good dog. Look at her.
And yeah.
Yeah.
So, we got another video. Druten couldn't be here tonight.
He's a loser, and Eric's always a loser, so.
We got a slightly smaller table this week.
Yeah, so we're like not as like
it's not yeah, it's weird. It's smaller table, but we have more space now. Just because you like, especially me, like I can actually be on the edge of the table a little bit more.
Yeah, instead of being just all on your stuff over there.
Exactly. So I guess first things first, we should get to the news.
There's no news.
There was some news.
I know, there's a little bit of news. I actually had a news item. I can't find it. I'm so mad.
Yeah, you done fucked up.
Whatever. It's like, it's the same thing every week. I don't know what's going on.
I am actually impressed that you had news, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, I talked about Google, and I love how you pulled up Google on your laptop before this started, and you have Google open on your computer right there.
No, I did that after I checked it here.
Oh, I did not realize that.
This is for the video when I switched to the news screen.
Oh, okay.
So if you pay attention for a second.
Nope, I don't pay attention.
We're going to cut, and we're now in the news screen where anyone watching this video will also see the web stuff we're talking about.
Oh, wait, we're on a video?
Magic.
We're on a video?
Yeah, there's a camera right out there.
What do I do with my hands?
I don't know
what to do.
Pet the dog.
No.
But yeah. So, first news item is this Google thing you told me about.
Yeah, Google's 19 today, surprisingly enough.
Which is kind of... It's crazy to think that... So, I didn't start using Google until like the early 2000s, like probably 2001, 2002, because I heard them talk about it on Tech TV, and this was back before G4 bought them.
Yeah.
So, like, they were still actually Tech TV.
Yeah, they actually talked about tech.
And I think it was on the screensavers, actually, that they brought it up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. And this was back, like, Google when it was, like, there was nothing there. It was just...
infancy of Google.
It said Google, and it was a bar.
Yeah. Which is kind of what they have now still.
But yeah, this is actually kind of cool. If you... The doodle for today, if you click on the play button, it loads this little spinny wheel. And once it lands, it will actually open you up to a previous doodle.
Yeah, so breathing exercise one, I did that earlier today. It's just 1 minute, and the pulse goes in and out and tells you when to breathe in and breathe out. It's for relaxing, so.
I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually...
It's really neat. I played, I was at work while doing this, so it's really not a good thing that I looked at Google's doodle today. But there was solitaire, snake. I took an Earth Day quiz. And turns out my animal corresponding is I'm coral. Like the stuff that lives in the ocean, the reefs are made out of. Yeah, I'm coral. That's the kind of animal I am. That makes sense why I'm so fat. I'm just that lazy.
Yeah, but coral's like strong. Well, I guess it's not strong, but it's hard.
It's hardy, yes.
You're kind of, squishy.
I'm yeah, a little bit. Like, I'm very squishy lately, so.
But yeah, so next year will be 20 years, and I thought something else was like, I thought there was another big milestone next year, but
I don't know.
Like another like thing that came out or like started in 98.
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I can't think off the top of my head, but yeah, I mean, so in 19 years, they have become... Their name has become unanimous, I'm sorry, with just the an internet search.
When you can become a verb, you've done well.
Yeah, because it's not like anyone says I'm going to Yahoo things.
No,
before, no one said I'm going to Yahoo things or I'm going to Ask Jeeves things.
No, it's you search it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go to Ask Jeeves and search, or I'm gonna go to Alta Vista and search.
Alta Vista.
They still use it in Pawnee.
I know.
Oh yeah, that's right. You finally did watch that show.
Yep. Actually, I forgot Pawnee was fake. I just thought I was just going along with a bit.
But yeah, like you say, I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, Google it. Go ahead and Google it.
I don't even use Google as a search engine that often. I use Bing usually because of points.
Yeah.
And I still say, hey, I'm going to go Google that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, granted, I use Google for basically everything else. I mean, Chrome is my browser, and my phone is Android, and I use Google Maps fucking for everything.
Yeah.
My car even is Android.
Yeah, so it's Google. Google's so big. Congratulations, Google. Happy birthday.
Really?
Or actually Alphabet now. I
Well, I mean, Google is 20 years old. Yeah. So I know, like, their umbrella corporation, I believe it's still called Alphabet.
Yeah, I think that's what it's still called now.
So the next news item is actually something that we touched on last week.
A smidge.
Now, I've actually got a different article up than what I'm looking at on my laptop. So I'm going to actually play this video that's down at the bottom and just let that play while we're talking. But that's basically the hand motion you got to make.
Okay, yeah.
And I think this might have actually had... Yep. So that's...
Okay. I mean, the people watching don't see what we're talking about.
So Kotaku, which just... I could not get their website to look correct on here without just doing a whole nother thing. They have a gift of Iwata actually doing his hand motion from, like, the Nintendo Directs, which is what you have to do to unlock this golf thing.
Yeah.
But basically, it's essentially been confirmed that this was planted there as a dedication or a tribute to Iwata.
Yeah.
You can only unlock golf on July 11th, the day he passed away.
Yeah.
It will only work on a Switch now that has never been connected to the internet.
Yeah.
So you either if you already have a Switch, you have to just wait till July 11th. Changing your clock doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Apparently in the emulator firmware that's built into the Switch, it's hard coded that the first time it connects to the internet, it picks up the date and it starts a counter from that point.
Yeah.
If you buy a brand new Switch though, out of the box, don't connect it to the internet, set the date to July 11th, you can actually do this. And it's kind of cool. And so I read a couple different places. I particularly saw somebody on Twitter talk about it, that apparently in Japan, it's actually there's a certain term for something like this, and it's almost like it's a way for people to it's a tribute, but it's also a way, like a charm almost.
Yeah.
Like a blessing towards, like, the console by putting, like, something that he worked on it.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of times people will pick up things like this from shrines. Obviously, like, physical things, not like a piece of embedded software.
Yeah.
But it's almost like Nintendo putting in, like, a thing in their console to basically, like, bless the console for its life. Which is it's kind of touching. Especially because it's something that... assuming that it was there for people to find.
Yeah.
Nintendo has yet to remark on it. They haven't come out and admitted to anything yet. Whether they had planned on doing it closer to July.
I mean, at that point though, why didn't they do it this month or this year? Like, why wait until next year?
It probably was there.
Well, I mean, why didn't they comment on it in July this year then?
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah, so I mean, it was there on this past July. So it might have just been one of those things where, like, if people found it, they found it. If not, like, for them, it was a tribute to him that they hid in there as sort of a cultural thing.
Because how many people are actually going to sit there and have their hands to their chest and then push out to do the hand motions to get it to go?
So people apparently, like, the people that found this stuff, I guess they actually found in there how to...
they
somewhere
found
in the code. It probably had some sort of comment that said hand gesture.
Yeah,
and that's how they figured out that was the unlock. And they probably, because he opened every direct like that, they just figured, okay, well, this is what they were talking about.
Yeah, really cool. I can't wait to do this on the 11th.
Yeah, it's gonna be neat. Or go buy a new Switch now and
see. I don't have that money with all my health issues.
So, next up, the voice actor strike might be ending.
Yay!
I had all this stuff lined up earlier, and then we started talking, and I fucking scrolled everything out of the way, and now I have to like realign things.
That's all on you.
But yeah, so it's been almost a year. It started October of last year.
Yeah.
Is when the strike officially began.
Yeah.
But it looks like they have a tentative agreement according to this GameSpot article.
Okay.
So, and this was from a couple days ago? Yesterday. So this was from yesterday. I don't know how much you remember about this.
I honestly, before we even started, I didn't even realize there was a voice actor strike going on. I haven't bought as many games as I used to, so I'm just completely oblivious to this stuff. I don't pay attention to it, a lot of it anymore.
So the strike was against 11 companies, including Activision, EA, and Warner Brothers.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly how it works out because, like, you have games like Shadow of War.
Yeah.
That, like, Troy Baker and Nolan North did voices in the first game. I assume they're still the voices in the second game that comes out at the end of October.
Yeah.
Or beginning of October. I forget which side it's on. That I guess maybe, like, they were already contracted and had already started that, so they finished it.
Yeah.
Or maybe it wasn't all WB Studios, like, I don't know how it all broke down, but the example I gave to you before we started was the Life is Strange Before the Storm, where Ashley Birch couldn't perform as Chloe because of the strike.
Okay, yeah.
But what they were looking for was they were looking to get royalties basically after the fact.
Yeah. Which they should.
And better like I can't even think of the goddamn word.
Is it on your screen?
No, that's what I was just looking for.
Oh, Jesus. What are you doing to us now, Cobb?
I had the word in my head, and then it just...
Better recognition?
No, not even recognition. Like, quality of life stuff, essentially. Just because of, like, for a lot of the voice actors, like, that is their job. Their entire job is their voice. They're not doing other things.
Yeah.
And doing, like, these marathon sessions where, like, they're yelling, they're screaming, all this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It can put a huge strain on that. Yeah. And, you know, if they have to do, like, the same scream 36 times over the course of, like, a couple of hours, like, that can fuck their throats up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I think they were looking for just stuff to sort of offset that, and I think additional compensation for things like that.
Yeah.
Just to, obviously, like, you know, if they're screaming for a week, you know, they probably can't work for a few days after that.
Yeah.
And maybe that hurts them.
Yeah.
But... yeah, it's nice to know that they're hopefully coming to some sort of agreement soon, because it would start getting weird if we started getting more of those really well-known games that had less voice actor recognition that we knew.
Yeah. Which damn filthy scabs taking all the jobs.
Yeah, like I'm still curious. Like, I would like to, after everything's said and done, actually see how it all really worked out, because I mean. Look at Activision's like Destiny.
Yeah.
So there are actual like screen actors in there.
Yeah.
And I assume if they're SAG members, they're not. I guess like Screen Actors Guild isn't necessarily upheld to the same things as SAG-AFTRA, which is for like voice and animation or something like that. I forget exactly what the AFTRA stands for, but I'm sure, like, if there was, like, a big strike going on, they probably also wouldn't, because you had, like, Nathan Fillion and Gina Torres and Keith David, I think, is the leader, the Titan Vanguard. I forget his name.
Zavala.
Akora is the other one.
The woman.
Yeah. And then I just noticed it today, or yesterday, the faction leaders.
Yeah.
The Dead Orbit leader is Peter Stormare.
Who's he?
You've seen Armageddon, right?
Yeah.
You know the crazy cosmonaut that they rescue from the space station?
Really?
Yeah, that's Peter Stormare.
And that's the Dead Orbit guy?
Yeah.
I'm glad I joined Dead Orbit.
Yeah, I did too, but only because they had a scout rifle.
I joined Dead Orbit because their clothes are the most emo.
No, I joined them because their like main weapon they were giving away, like the if they win, was a scout rifle. The other two were a hand cannon and a sidearm, and I don't ever use either of them.
I mean, I have a pretty badass scout rifle as is, but we'll get to that later.
But yeah, Peter Stormare's he's been in all sorts of stuff. I just figured Armageddon would be the thing. If you ever got around to playing Until Dawn, he is in that.
I started it.
So he is the therapist. Have you seen the weird therapist scenes yet?
I know. I literally like started it. That's it. Like,
oh, so you just did the scene where you're walking around as the one girl and run into the woods?
Yeah, we went, like, I had gotten through that part, and we were going back to the house.
Oh, okay, like the year later or whatever?
I was super tired and fairly inebriated, so I don't really remember a lot of it.
So there are little, like, intermission things after certain points.
Yeah.
Where it takes you away from that scene, and there's this scene with the therapist.
Yeah.
And the therapist is Peter Stormare.
Okay.
Yeah, he's awesome. Anyway, next up, like we were just talking about, Destiny 2 faction rallies are live.
Yay!
Did they? I assume they did these in Destiny 1?
They had factions in Destiny 1. They didn't have rallies, per se, like this one. In Destiny 1, you just picked a faction, and essentially, as you did things, you got experience for them. It's where you would get reputation, you could get stuff. Very similar to this, except now, in this time, at the end of this week, at the end of this cycle, so by Tuesday next week, or by the end of Monday next week, there will be a declared winner. The winner would be somebody who has done the most stuff, and most accommodations have been handed in for each of the teams. So hopefully Dead Orbit, because we're both Dead Orbit, will get that gun for like 100 glimmer, whereas everyone else will get their gun for like...
It's 50,000, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I forget what they were... I actually read what the selling thing was for. I think it was like 1,000 glimmer. But yeah, it's something just...
It's a major change in price.
Yeah. 50,000 glimmer if they don't win, 1,000 if they do.
Yeah.
Plus, have you done anything for them yet?
I mean, you get daily missions that you can do, which is just going to lost sectors.
Yeah, so...
I haven't done that, but doing world events and things like that will just net you tons and tons and tons of this.
So
these accommodations.
I had to do, I did the milestone for,
IO?
Yeah. So
the flashpoint?
Yeah, the flashpoint where you just had to do public events.
On IO this week, yes.
Yeah. So I did that. So I did like 5 public events, I think.
That sounds about right.
To fill it.
Yeah.
And after doing all 5, when I went back to like turn that in, the Dead Orbit guy was like flashing too. I went over to him. I had enough of their tokens to get 3 Ingrams from them of gear. Yeah. So like they accumulate super fast.
Yeah. Beyond 265, it's not really that worth it getting this stuff handed in.
I just hit 250.
Okay, yeah.
You got to remember, like, I'm not doing strikes as much, and I can't do Nightfall or...
I've only done at this point 2 Nightfalls, because the first Nightfall I did was 2 weeks ago. Last week's I said screw it because I hate that strike, and then this week's we did yesterday because it was just simple. I can rush you through that one. It's that easy. But we'll talk about that later. You get so many of these commendations, so many of these or whatever they are, these tokens for doing stuff for just in general that you're just going to keep handing them in, and they're feeding it to you so that it is actually kind of a trial, and it's not more so of, hey, if you don't do this stuff, you're not in it. It's, hey, no matter what you do, you're going to get stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the nice thing was, too, that it helped boost me between that and, like, obviously doing all of the public events, turning that in, and plus I got, like, some clan rewards and stuff.
Yeah.
I went from 240 to 251, 252, just in the span of, like, the hour and a half I played to get all the public events done.
You're in a clan?
Yeah.
Who?
It's one of the podcasts I listen to have one.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I mean, it's one of those, like, I'm not going to be raiding or anything
well,
like that.
Well, yeah, but you get the rewards that they reap, so...
And
which
I
is
mean,
nice.
like, I make sure to go through and like I'm doing stuff too. Like I last week I know I hit the 100% for experience earned for clan.
All you have to do for that though is the world events. You do probably 10 world events and you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not hard to get the experience up.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that much. If you could please close the door now that the dog is running away.
Bye, dog.
I'm a little surprised that she was so good.
She's a sweetheart. That's why I gotta get comfortable again. Sorry, viewers. I know I'm ugly.
I know she's a sweetheart, but she's generally she doesn't do well with people.
I mean, she has to butter up with people.
Yeah.
When I first moved into my house with my grandfather, Loki hated me. She wouldn't let me touch her.
Really? Loki's
Yeah.
so sweet.
No, she wouldn't. It's not just me though. She wouldn't let any guy touch her. Then when my grandfather passed away, and I was there for close to a year before my grandfather passed away, she was still hesitant to me. First day she met Anthony, she walked right up to Anthony, nuzzled right up on him.
Yeah, I've never had any problems with Loki. She's always been super good with me.
Yeah, she's awesome now, but back then it was like
no, but because I mean, we started recording not at your place not long after your grandfather passed away.
probably about a year or so.
What year did your grandfather pass away?
Was it 3 years ago?
I don't. We started recording at your place in 2014.
Yeah, as terrible as it says, I can't remember.
Well, it was probably fall 2014 because over the summer we recorded here a couple times. We recorded at your brother's.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I can't remember.
But
it was so long ago.
But yeah, like as far as the faction stuff goes, it's pretty cool how easy it is to like just get gear from it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just
it made it easy to level up just because they are such tiny. Like you're never going from like 240 to like 247.
yeah.
You're going from like 240 to 243 to 244 to 246. Like you're maybe getting like one or like a jump of like two, depending if like you have like a real good like drop at some point. But generally, like it's those real small increments. So being able to like turn in all the tokens, get all those Ingrams, like you get all the gear that's like, you know, a level or two higher than yours. And
it boosts you.
Yeah.
Remember, when you're trying to boost your level, double check the equipment you have, because if you have a +5 on your equipment, it's counting as 5 levels lower, even though it's 5 levels higher.
I don't think I have anything that has that actually.
Also, even if you're not using it, if it's stronger than what you have equipped, keep it in your inventory.
Does it?
It
It counts against your inventory. Or does it count against?
It counts towards your drops.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know. See, so whenever I go to turn stuff in, I always equip whatever my strongest stuff is.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're at a point where you're just going to be swapping out. I'm at a point where I'm like, all right, I have these 3 exotics that I'm not going to use, but they're all about 5 to 10 levels higher than the weapon I actually am using. So I'm going to keep them in my inventory to count towards my level cap.
So that is actually a thing that I do, though. Like, I actually have a fair number of exotics, like, particularly weapons.
Yeah.
And there are weapons that I will use in certain circumstances, like auto rifles and pulse rifles.
Yeah.
But they're not what I default with. So they're stronger than my default scout rifle.
Yeah.
So, like, when I go to turn in, like, the tokens and get the Ingrams, I equip one of them because, you know, they're maybe 8 power higher, so it does boost my power.
Yeah.
But knowing that it takes it into account just if it's in the inventory, that helps.
Yeah, it'll save you 30 seconds.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward just to see how the like who wins the faction rally.
Destiny has always been good with their like special events. That's one thing I do look forward to when it comes around to it. Like when they do the Iron Banner, I'm excited to see how they enhance that, which was their PvP event that they would run for a week long, or when they do. Hopefully, I'm hoping they have. I didn't get to do it last in Destiny 1, but I'm hoping they do racing again, the bike racing, because I would love to try. I love racing games, and there's so many sections on these maps that are perfect for racing. It would make sense for them to do it again.
You know what's funny? I almost never use the Sparrow unless I see somebody else pull it out.
And then you remember?
Yeah, because like have you done the IO public event thing yet?
Yeah.
So there's the one with the fallen, the black things that just take over the
That's
other.
Taken.
That's the Taken. Okay, so there's the one with them where they have they're the big orb that you have to take out.
I didn't do that one.
Okay, so that was one of 3 that kept popping. So like it was that one, and then like there were 2 of those resource ones.
Yeah.
So I did that one twice, and every time you take out like a section of it, it like moves the map. And I kept running, and then like some of the other people I were with were pulling out their sparrows. And
Yeah.
going, I'm like, oh fuck, right, I can do that.
See, I'm always using my sparrow because I just pop it open and it's press the pad square. It's instant cast my sparrow. So all I have to do is tap square and he's on it and I can go.
Is that like a?
It's a legendary sparrow.
Oh, okay.
It's not a mod or anything. It's just a legendary sparrow that I got somehow from one of the luminous Ingrams, which are the white ones that the chick that sells all the stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name.
I have to hold it to launch it, and it's not so much that I have a problem with that. I just forget about it because I never hit the touchpad.
Yeah.
I either hit touchpad plus options immediately to just go right to the director, or I'm hitting options. So like I very rarely see that screen.
Yeah.
That I just forget it's there.
My bike came in such good use for the Nightfall this week when trying to complete it in the allotted time that we wanted to, that I love it. I'm never getting rid of it. And I'll talk about that when it gets to what we did.
Well, our next news story, not game or movie related or anything like that. It's another internet related thing.
Yeah.
Twitter. It's raising its character count to 280 characters.
I call shenanigans because I'm only at 140 still.
I'm not.
And here's the thing. I think I have more followers than you.
Probably.
Let's check. Where's my phone? It's in this pocket.
I don't use Twitter a ton. But yeah, I verified today that I have the 280 character count.
Yeah, I have 140 still, and I am at where are we at? 480 followers? Oh no, 131 followers. I was about to say 480. Holy shit.
I have 90 followers.
480 followers. That's celebrity status. No, it's 181 followers. A lot of them I'm sure are spam. But
so I would have probably 100 more if I didn't go through and delete all of the porn bots.
See, I don't care. It makes my numbers look better.
See, I don't care about that. I get annoyed by all the porn bots, so I go through and I block them all.
Well, why do you get annoyed, though?
Because it makes it look like I have more followers than I do.
Maybe you'll get even more followers than that because it looks like you have more followers.
No, because then if anyone clicks on it, it's just 100 porn bots.
You're probably going to have mostly nerds following. They need to find the porn.
But yeah, so I actually, the only reason I noticed it was they changed on the website and on my app. I don't have the actual number anymore. I had this little like circle thing. So when I saw this news, I'm just like, that's weird. I wonder if that has it, because I had even tweeted something last night, and I'm like, I feel like I should be over 140 characters by now, and it just kept letting me add more. Like, this is weird.
Yeah.
And it was before I saw the news. So today I opened up a Word and I typed in 280 characters, verified it was 280, pasted it in, and lo and behold, my character count is 280.
Nice.
Yeah. I then typed a very short tweet of just like, I have the 280 character count.
Yeah.
Like, I was trying to think of the shortest way I could say it.
Me 280? Or just 280?
The shortest way that I could say it that it actually made sense to somebody that didn't know that they upped the character count to 280.
You should have just said 280.
And
then it'd been mysterious. People would be like, "What's he mean? What's he saying?"
All
And you
90
would have gotten
followers.
you would have gotten like tens of followers.
But yeah, so I'm sort of, well, I think it's neat that I got it. I don't know. It's kind of defeats the whole idea of Twitter. Like, the whole idea of Twitter is you have 140 characters to fit in what you want to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's still no Facebook, though. Like, 280 characters is not a big deal.
Definitely, but the way I look at it is, if I wanted to say something long, I would put it on Facebook. If I want to say something just short and to the point, I'm going to spend more time constructing that statement on Twitter to make it as, like, concise as possible.
Yeah.
With 280, now I don't have to do that as much. Like, I like the changes they made, I guess it was last year, where it doesn't count if embedded pictures don't count and tagged names don't count.
I think it only doesn't count if it's at somebody.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, I mean, like if it's if it's a direct reply to somebody, it doesn't count. But if you're tagging other people, it does.
So the first time, any replies after that don't count. So when you have like a message where like, say it was somebody added somebody, or let's say they added two people. So when you reply to that, you're technically replying to 3 people.
Yeah.
None of those 3 people count. It just puts them all in the replying to. So then you have your full 140.
Okay.
Like that, I like.
Yeah.
280, I could do without.
I mean, it's so. I mean, I'm still at 140. So
yeah,
you're. I hate you. That's all.
You're welcome. Next news story. Actually, last news story. You're not going to care about, but it looks like Avengers is going to go weekly in 2018.
There's something wrong with that.
Yes and no. So there's currently 3 different Avenger books.
Yeah.
So there's Avengers proper, then there is US Avengers, and then which used to be New Avengers.
Yeah.
And then it became US Avengers when they basically started working for S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Which was always weird because it's like, you're working for S.H.I.E.L.D., why are you US Avengers? Like, S.H.I.E.L.D. is an international peacekeeping task force.
Yeah, I mean, they're the Strategic Homeland Enforcement Defense Initiative.
So it's weird because in the cinematic universe, they're American, but I'm fairly certain in the comics they were originally international. Maybe they've changed that since then, because Homeland refers to America.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so then they were working for S.H.I.E.L.D. So you have that one, and then the last one is Uncanny Avengers, which was a group team of mutants and Avengers originally.
Yeah.
Right after Marvel did the X-Men versus Avengers, it was like Captain America's way of like bringing the 2 sides back together.
Yeah.
And then after the whole Inhuman thing started happening, they also threw some Inhumans on the team.
Yeah.
So at this point, I think the current roster for the team is like Rogue, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, an Inhuman whose name is Synapse.
Synapse.
She can do stuff with brains.
Okay.
Johnny Storm, Janet Van Dyne Wasp, and sometimes Cable.
Sometimes Cable. When he's in this time zone or time
basically
timeline.
That like Cap isn't anymore, but Cap was also Hydra up until like 3 weeks ago. So I don't know how that's going to happen. And I feel like I'm missing a person or 2 from the team, but regardless, they're basically canceling those 2 books.
Yeah.
The US and Uncanny, and it's just going to be Avengers once a week. So they're adding 1 additional book, it sounds like, but like they're just taking over the other 2.
It's just that's a lot. That's a lot of Avengers.
So it's similar to what they did with Spider-Man back in the late 2000s, where at one point there was Amazing Spider-Man has always been around, and then I think there was Spectacular Spider-Man and like Peter Parker Spider-Man or something like that.
Yeah.
There were 3 different titles running simultaneously that were Spider-Man related.
Yeah.
And what they ended up doing was canceling 2 of them, having just Amazing, and having it released 3 times a month.
Yeah.
Which is almost identical to what this is doing.
Yeah.
We only know that it's going to be weekly for like 2 months. There's a 12-part story, well, 3 months. It's a 12-part story that's starting in January that's going to run through the Avengers weekly from the beginning of January to like March.
Okay, that's not bad then.
After that, they might break it down to maybe 2 or 3 times a month, I would think.
Yeah.
But so Marvel is doing this whole legacy thing now.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you've seen like stuff for on like Facebook.
I remembered what my other news was.
What was it?
It was that Deadpool is now back to being a villain. He's becoming the despicable Deadpool is going to be his books.
I did see that. I don't know if that means he's going to be a villain though.
Well, he's mad at S.H.I.E.L.D. because they tried to kill Cap or something like that, and Cap was evil, but Deadpool didn't realize that Cap was evil, and Cap invited him into the Avengers.
Yeah.
So then...
Oh, Deadpool was on the Uncanny Avengers team. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So he's kind of a villain, but he's more so out to get revenge because didn't they like end up killing Cap or something like that?
no, so
Or they did something to Cap, and he's mad at them for Maria Hill tried to kill him. And then,
Maria Hill did try to kill everybody, but she's also got fired from Shield, which is how Hydra Cap ended up being able to take over.
okay,
But they basically like real Captain America is back.
yeah,
I'm not going to say how, just in case people are watching or listening that actually want to read Secret Empire, which was good. And ended weak, but like everything up to the ending was real strong.
yeah,
But yeah, so like real Captain America is back, like actual like red, white, and blue doesn't want to take over the world. Captain America,
yeah,
Hydra Cap is still there, but he is no longer in charge.
yeah.
So like they're both there, and I know that there's a bunch of fallout from this because I know Punisher is also like Punisher was working for Hydra Cap, not realizing he was
and
villain.
That's what it was. Is Deadpool was like finally accepted into being an Avengers, but it was by Hydra Cap, and he didn't realize that Hydra Cap was evil. So he was just doing all this stuff, and then he eventually killed Phil Coulson.
Oh, I didn't know that he was the one that killed Coulson.
I think it was him that killed Coulson.
So I knew Coulson died, but like I don't read Deadpool.
Yeah.
Just I like him when he pops up in other books, but I've never been able to get into his book. But I knew from another book that they said Coulson was dead.
Yeah.
There's a few people dead. They killed Black Widow.
Really?
And Rick Jones.
I don't know who Rick Jones is.
Rick Jones was so back in like the original run of the Hulk, Rick Jones is actually the reason that Bruce Banner became the Hulk.
Okay.
He was out on the test field where they were testing the gamma bomb, and Banner ran out and pushed him into like a ditch basically to avoid the blast, and thus getting hit with it himself.
Okay.
But he was basically like a sidekick to the Hulk for a while. And then he's also been like a sidekick for like Captain America and stuff like that. Like I think he was like a kind of a Bucky at one point. Not Bucky, but like
it's
kind of filled that role. Like he's basically the non-powered guy that's like just friends with all of the superheroes.
Yeah.
And at one point he actually did become a Hulk. Not like the Hulk, but just like a Gamma warrior thing. And during a really bad storyline where the Hulk became a genius.
Smart Hulk.
Like beyond smart Hulk.
Okay.
He started going around curing everybody that had the Hulk in them, basically.
Okay.
Including Rick Jones. And what they basically wrote into that was when he was depowered, he kept some of like his abilities for a little while. So in that time, he used it to learn a bunch of stuff. One of those things was he learned how to become a master hacker.
Okay.
And he basically ended up getting arrested and forced to work for S.H.I.E.L.D. as a hacker.
So he's Skye. Or Daisy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only she exists in the comics, and she's way cooler.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Daisy in like the most recent season of S.H.I.E.L.D. got a lot better.
Yeah, she did.
But Quake in the comics has always been pretty cool. She was actually in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. at one point.
Nice.
And now she's with the Secret Warriors.
Okay.
Because she's an Inhuman.
Yeah.
So
wasn't she an X-Men first, and then she became, or was she always Inhuman?
No, I don't think she was always an Inhuman though.
Okay.
I think she had her powers a different way, but now she's an Inhuman in the books too. But yeah, so the whole legacy thing though is they're going back to their numbering for a lot of books.
Yeah.
So like Avengers, I want to say like it's like Avengers 13 just came out or something like that of the current volume. They're going to set it back to Avengers like 670 something.
Yeah.
It looks like the No Surrender event that's going to run January to March is going to be issue 675.
Okay.
I don't know if they'll relaunch the numbering sooner because I think Legacy kicks off this month.
Yeah.
But like Amazing Spider-Man's jumping up to almost 800.
That's insane.
A lot of books are doing that. Like, and then books that just don't have that sort of history to them are just going to stay where they're at.
Yeah.
Like, there's a Jean Grey book running right now that's only, like, that is the Jean Grey book. So it's going to be at issue, like, 15 or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's even less than that. But
yeah.
So there's books that are getting bumped up that, like, really old characters, like Black Panther has been around forever, but he's never had a real long, like, run the way like Spider-Man has.
Yeah.
So his is getting bumped up into like the hundreds because when you like take all of his series and put them together, that's about where it falls.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's something.
It'll be cool.
Yeah. So the last thing that I thought we would run through real quick. It's not news necessarily, but there's a whole bunch of games coming out over the next several weeks of October.
Yeah.
Now, the first thing that I don't actually have on this list because I forgot about it is on Friday, the 29th, there's two kind of big releases. There is the SNES Classic comes out.
Yeah.
Which apparently, maybe GameStops are actually getting a decent allotment on top of their pre-orders.
Yeah.
Don't know if it's going to be all the GameStops, but I heard on a thing this morning that at least one confirmed that they have like 12 additional over their pre-orders.
Yeah.
So that's good news.
Yeah.
The other thing that comes out on Friday is Cuphead on the Xbox One.
I don't even know what that is. Oh, that's that cartoon one.
Yeah, it looks like a 1930s cartoon.
Yeah.
I'm excited to try that. That game
does look silly.
Apparently it's really hard though.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm excited just 'cause the art style is just awesome.
Yeah.
But then we get into October.
Yeah.
So the first week of October, there's, as you can see on the list, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games coming out.
Yeah.
I highlighted the stuff that I actually was familiar with. So Battle Chasers is a game based off of a comic from like the late 90s, early 2000s that Joe Mad did. He is a comic book artist who also he worked on the Darksiders games.
Okay.
And now he's working on this. It's going to be like an RPG.
Cool.
I thought it looked neat. I don't know if I'll pick up on the third, but I do plan on getting it at some point.
Yeah.
Then Forza Motorsport 7.
It's Forza. It's spelled
no
Forza.
T.
It's Forza. It's pronounced with a T.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Look
There's
it
no
up.
T.
Google it. Call back. Get it? Yeah, no, it is. It's pronounced Forza.
Hate you. All right. Well, Forza Motorsport 7.
I might be making that up, but that's how I always pronounce it because I'm pretty sure because it's like French or Italian or something.
I'm gonna keep saying Forza because that's how it's spelled.
Okay.
I'm American.
Well, I say things right. I'm a respectable human being.
If anyone wants to confirm and/or deny if that's actually how you say it, feel free to write into us, social@one-quest.com. But yeah, Forza Motorsport 7. I'm not really into like track racing games, but I know a lot of people are. And that game looked real pretty when they were showing it off at E3.
Yeah, I had one of the Forzas for the Xbox One. The first one when it first, not the first one, like the
so
first.
probably 6.
No, I don't remember.
5 or 6.
The first one that came out on the Xbox One, I had it, and it was when they first incorporated that like rival mode where you race. You're always online, but you're never racing against
Isn't that
somebody.
Horizon?
It might be Horizon.
So I have the most recent Horizon downstairs too for Xbox. Forza Horizon 3, I want to say it is.
Yeah.
The one that's in Australia.
Yeah.
That game's really pretty, and I do like I like those sorts of racing games where it's just kind of an open world, do what you want, and just join races here and there.
Yeah.
Driving around the track has just never been a thing that I've particularly been interested in.
Yeah.
But it looked really pretty. The next one that I have highlighted is Layton's Mysterious Journey, Catriel and the Millionaire's Conspiracy for the 3DS.
Okay.
I didn't realize that they were still making Layton games.
No, neither did I.
This is the 7th one. And it's starring, I think they talked about it in the most recent Nintendo Direct. It's his daughter looking for him.
Yeah, we talked about that last week, I believe. A little bit.
Yeah, so I might, again, probably not going to pick it up on the 6th when it comes out.
Yeah.
But I will probably pick it up.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I've never actually played the Layton games. The only game similar to that I played was the first or second Phoenix, right? That came out for the US.
Very different.
Because I know Layton is more like puzzle solving.
All puzzles.
Yeah, where I put them kind of in similar branches because like they're not like an action game per se.
I mean they did have the Phoenix Wright Professor Layton crossover game.
Yeah,
but I mean I guess they're. So I can see how you would compare them to each other.
Yeah.
But I haven't played either of the series in a number of years.
Yeah.
But like there are a lot of differences to them.
Yeah.
They're fun though. I remember at one point, not long after the first Professor Layton came out, there was a Simpsons joke about Professor Layton.
Yeah, I think so.
It was the same episode that had the Philly Fanatic in it.
I don't remember fully. Was it when they were in Japan playing baseball?
No, this was like...
They did do an episode like that, right? I didn't make that up.
I think so. This was like 2000... I think this was maybe before the movie came out even. Like, it was like 2007, 2008. I don't know, because I even at that point, I wasn't really, like, regularly watching The Simpsons.
Yeah.
But I do remember that there was a Professor Layton joke in an episode.
Nice.
It had to do with moving puppies back and forth, I believe. Because that was actually a thing. You had to figure out how to move these dogs to the other side of, like, a river.
Yeah.
But you only had enough room for, like, so many things at a time in the boat, and you could never leave the dogs alone on the other side. Because there was like something on the other side that would eat them or whatever.
Yeah. I've seen the puzzles like that before.
And then the last thing for the first week of October is the remake of Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions.
Okay.
It's we talked about it a couple of weeks ago after the Nintendo Direct. This is the Game Boy Advance game. It was the first in the Mario and Luigi series.
Yeah.
Being remade on 3DS.
Yeah.
I never actually played it on...
I think I did.
Game Boy Advance.
I think I did have it on GBA, and I liked it. I liked all the Mario and Luigi games, like all those Mario RPGs in general. Except I've never actually played Mario RPG.
You're a fucking failure,
I
man.
know, I'm terrible.
You need to get an SNES Classic. It's on there.
Maybe. Who knows? I did work 10 hours overtime.
It's only $60. You figure between Super Mario RPG, Link to the Past, Final Fantasy 3, and I think there's another relatively long game on there.
Yeah.
Like, you are more than getting your money's worth.
Yeah, or I could put my money aside.
Like Secret of Mana or something like that's on there.
I could put my money aside and get Mario Odyssey, which comes out next month.
Or you get both.
Yeah, I don't really have that kind of money.
Be an irresponsible adult and open a credit card.
I mean, I have too many already.
What's one more going to hurt then?
I don't make payments on mine already.
You're a bad adult.
I'm an irresponsible adult.
So anyway, moving into the second week of October. Again, bunch of games coming out. One that I didn't highlight that's probably worth mentioning is the Fire Emblem Warriors on Switch.
Yeah.
I've just never personally been into the Dynasty Warrior deal, but I'm sure like there are plenty of people that are, and plenty of people that are Fire Emblem fans that'll probably give it a shot.
Yeah.
Two things I did highlight though: Middle-earth: Shadow of War, which I mentioned a little while ago when we were talking about the voice actor stuff.
Yeah.
Shadow of Mordor was fucking awesome.
It was an amazing game.
And I believe it was a game of the year for a lot of places in 2014.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt that.
And I know some people argue that like 2014 was a pretty mediocre year for games in general.
Yeah.
And that, had Shadow of War come out like in the last like couple of years or even the few years before that, it may not have been as highly regarded.
Yeah.
But fuck that. Like, that game was really fun. Got repetitive sometimes, but it was still, like, that Nemesis system was just such, like, a fresh idea.
Yeah, it was... Like, I would spend hours sometimes just killing enemies just because I could. Because, like, enemies wouldn't respawn until you died. So I would just go around like, alright, I'm just going to kill all these guys and see how much I can screw up these enemies. To have them so I would kill all the highest captains and then all the next level captains. So I was killing those. Some would move up occasionally. It's like, it's just so much fun just killing these stupid orcs.
It was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yes, now the sequel's coming out. Finally. Got pushed back from August, I think.
Yeah.
So that's October 10th.
Yeah.
And then on the 13th, The Evil Within 2.
Yeah.
Not a fan?
I mean, I didn't play the first one.
The first one was neat. It was really hard, though.
Yeah.
I didn't play much of it because I got it for Erica, but I played a little bit of it, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But, like, definitely more survival horror than a lot of survival horror games have been in recent years.
Yeah.
And I think the second one looks pretty cool. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up just because I don't think Erica ever finished the first one just because she got to a point where she was just kind of stuck. Like,
yeah.
and even looking at it, she was in one of those shitty positions where like the game had saved in such a way that she couldn't go back, she couldn't go forward because like she had no weapons basically. Like she was almost out of ammo, but she had to fight her way through like a horde, and it's one of those games where you don't really get much ammo.
Yeah.
So yeah,
maybe she should just be better at video games.
well, she doesn't play those type of games that often either. So the twin stick stuff tends to.
I'm just trying to be a dick.
Yeah, no, I was just saying twin stick stuff tends to throw her off at first too.
Yeah.
So like looking and moving, she's like it takes her a little while to get used to.
Yeah.
So that was one of those games where by the time she got used to it, she was stuck there, and like to her credit, like she tried over and over again to the point where like I would have quit long before she did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I would have been like, fuck this game, I'm done.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like she just kept pushing at it, trying like going different ways, looking for like possible solutions to like how she could get around it without combat.
Yeah.
But I think it's just one of those like she would really have to like restart at least the level if that's even possible.
Yeah.
Just to be able to restart it with more resources to like get through that part correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that, and then moving into the third week, there is another racing game.
GT Sport.
Gran Turismo Sport is
it?
Yeah.
Gran Turismo. Okay.
Those games don't come out too often.
No, so because I worked 10 hours overtime. Anytime I work more than 10 hours overtime, I'm going to put aside $60 and buy myself a game. That's just my general rule because I worked a lot of hours the past 2 weeks. So I might put that towards Gran Turismo rather than putting it towards. I mean, I still have another 2 weeks before Mario Odyssey and Gran Turismo come out. So
the one thing that I've been hearing is Forza is better than Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
So if you want that sort of racing game, you might be better off getting Forza.
But then I'm gonna need to get Xbox Live.
Why?
To play online and stuff. God, I don't know how long it's been since I turned on my Xbox One. It probably doesn't have my Wi-Fi connected to it.
You're a disappointment sometimes.
I haven't bought a new Xbox One game since I bought my Xbox One.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did you even buy it?
Because I was living for free at my grandfather's house, and I got it for my birthday for Christmas.
Well, I thought you bought them both for yourself.
I bought the PS4 for myself. And I got the Xbox One for Christmas.
Oh, okay. I thought you had purchased them both yourself.
Now, I had them both pre-ordered, but
oh, okay. So the other big thing coming out on the third week is South Park: The Fractured But Whole.
I see what they did there. Like
did you just catch that?
No, I've always known.
Also, WWE 2K18, but Drewton's not here, so
Drewton's
fuck
not
that.
Here, so we're not.
That game looks really bad.
What, WWE?
Yeah, like I don't know if it's bad as far as wrestling goes, but just visually it looks very unappealing. Like the characters just don't look good.
I think a lot of WWE games are just bad in general. Like
that's the impression I've gotten.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fractured But Whole finally comes out on the 17th.
Yeah. Oh.
And if you pre-order it now, you get the Stick of Truth.
Yeah.
2 games for the price of 1.
Like people condemn me for this, but I've never really been that big of a South Park fan.
Really?
Yeah, like I've seen a few episodes and I've laughed. I'm like, they're good, but like I've never been somebody who would. I'm not going to sit down and go to the South Park archive and watch every episode.
See, I've never done that, but especially in the last couple of years, I've enjoyed South Park because they've had that overarching story that runs through the whole full season.
Yeah,
which I've always thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like it's weird to say, but fart jokes and poop jokes and stuff like that just. I don't find them that funny. Like when I listen to Nerd Poker and I hear Brian Posehn burping or something, I get turned off on it. I'm like, this. I don't find.
Well, I don't think they want you to be turned on by their.
Well, no.
Anyway,
you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't find some of that stuff funny anymore, or like it's a little over the top nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, and South Park does a little bit of that still, but a lot of South Park is a lot more topical.
Yeah.
It's still crude and fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But it is pretty topical.
Yeah.
Anyway, the the last week and few days of October.
Yeah.
Has one of the most packed weeks, or days, I should say. On the 27th, we have Mario Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Origins, and Wolfenstein: The New Colossus.
So I'm getting Mario Odyssey. That's it.
No, I mean, I know you're not getting a ton. But before that, on the 24th, Destiny 2 is finally coming to PC.
Ooh.
Which a lot of people are really excited to be able to play it on PC.
Yeah, I mean...
Apparently, from what I've heard from people that have gotten to play it at like demos and stuff like that, it plays really well on PC.
Yeah.
And it looks really good.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, I don't know. I don't understand the PC master race. Like, I have all the consoles, and I have a decent PC. If I updated my PC a little bit, it would be able to play the better games. I'm just like, I'm not that person who's like, I was just watching a video today of an unboxing of a $9,000 PC, of a $9,000 laptop for somebody who wants to bring their gaming their gaming to their laptop on the go.
You see, that's a little too much.
That thing has 2 power supplies. It has to be plugged in twice to be able to play. It is 19 pounds. It comes in a box that requires a dolly. No, that's excessive.
That is a bit much.
Like, I want to play my games. So, like, people trash, oh, you're not getting the best you can get when you're not playing on the PC. But I'm like, yeah, but I can at least play it on my PS4 or my Switch or my Xbox One. I don't have to wait for 17 updates and then not be able to play it because what was it? Batman Arkham Knight happened. Like,
I mean, for the most part, like, PC gaming has gotten better.
yeah.
And a lot of games, you know, with controller support and all, they do generally play better on PC.
Yeah.
But like, a PC gaming is a pretty big investment, and it's not as easy as just put the disc in and it works.
Yeah.
Like, that's sort of the toss up that you get there.
I have a bunch of old games for the PC. Like, I can't even remember. Like, Fear, the original Fear. I have. If I go to play it on my PC now, it won't run.
Really?
Yeah. That came out before Vista, or around when Vista came out.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was after Vista.
So I remember when trying to play that, I would have graphical issues and things like that. Like, it wouldn't run properly. So if I go to play it now, it's too updated. Like, yeah, I'd have to turn on and pull out my old PS2 to play it. But you know what? I still have a PS2. So if I wanted to play it, I could play it.
I thought Fear was on 360 also.
I don't know what it was on. But I'm just saying, like, I'd have to pull out my old system that it was on in order for me to play it, which I don't trade things in. I'm one of those guys that has all of everything he's ever owned. Yeah. You look at this, I'm looking at an original Nintendo, and a Super Nintendo, and a 64 right now.
I got an Atari and a Genesis with a Sega CD up on the top shelf.
Yeah, see, I don't look up. I'm doing it now, though, so. But yeah, so people can get their Destiny on PC. It is what it is. I don't care. I'll play it on my PS4.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's all for the news and such.
You didn't talk about Just Dance 2018?
No, I didn't.
No?
But if you notice, that game is coming out on fucking everything still.
Oh, yeah.
Xbox One, PS4, Switch, PC, Wii U, PS3, and 360.
Yeah, that's just because, like, that is the easiest game to release on everything, because it is just a straight-up port, and
that is true.
They know it works for everything. So, yeah.
But yeah, so,
I'm excited for Mario Odyssey next month, though.
I am too. I'm looking forward to that.
I was gonna get, the Mario vs. Rabbids with this paycheck, but knowing that there's Forza and Gran Turismo, I might wait. I don't know. Really want Rabbids, though.
Yeah, I've been thinking about getting Rabbids myself. I might see if GameStop has a used one, because I have, from that trade-in sale thing they had a few months back, I got a ton of points.
Yeah.
I have enough for like $35 worth of pre-owned certificates.
Yeah.
If I like do them right. So like if I can find a used copy of Rabbids, I might pick it up, because it would probably only be like $25 after the discount.
Maybe. Yeah.
But let's jump into things we have been talking about doing.
Yeah, things we've been doing.
So, what's your previous week been like?
Well, I beat Sonic Mania. Oops. I beat Sonic Mania, but I did not get all the emeralds.
How many emeralds have you gotten?
4.
All right, so you only got one more than I did.
Yeah, so I got 4, and the 4th one I didn't get till after I started playing through the first level again.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do it the real way, the way you're supposed to do it with Sonic. You play through the game entirely again. I'm not gonna stop. Like, I'm gonna keep playing through the game as many times as it requires for me to get all the emeralds to beat the game and get all the stuff. That's how you do Sonic.
No, you play the same level over and over again until you can get all the emeralds.
Nah, fuck that shit. Like, that's not Sonic. That is not how you play Sonic. You play Sonic, you play it over and over until you know every level, you know where all the things are, and you can play it with a hand tied behind your back and your eyes closed.
That sounds like too much work.
You're obviously not a Sonic player.
I am, but I never played Sonic that way.
I did. I played Sonic Sonic 3, I could probably still beat now.
See, I never actually played Sonic. I mean, I played Sonic 3, but Sonic 2 was the Sonic that I...
It might take me a while to remember where all the rings are for the Chaos Emeralds, but I could probably play it now. I could probably beat it easily now. It just might take me a little bit to remember every stage.
But what did you think of the rest of the game?
Oh, it's great. Great game. Love it. And I'm going to keep playing it. I want to unlock all this secret content stuff because I have so many medals I still need to earn. I didn't realize how many of those stages there are.
Yeah, I'm really bad at them. At the ball stages.
I'm not. I'm bad at the Chaos Emerald stages.
See, I'm not bad at those.
I fall so much.
I'm bad at finding them. I'm not bad at doing them.
I probably found enough to get through, to have gotten at least all the emeralds 1.5 times. Probably get 12 to 16 emeralds. I probably found 12 to 16 levels, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do them all. The one I was stuck on, I did probably 10 times.
Oh wow!
It was the 4th one, and it was just it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the ball levels go, though, I'd probably be better if I tried them on the television. I never actually. I only played that game handheld.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that if I had a little more like screen and it wasn't right in front of my face, I'd be able to just.
Yeah, I mean, I generally have played it mostly on handheld. Like, I played it... The reason I beat it is I was watching football while I was playing it this week.
Oh, okay.
So, because the game got super boring and frustrating, the Eagles game, or it was after the Eagles game, and Red Zone was just super boring and frustrating, so I just started playing Sonic instead of doing anything else. Which, my Switch hadn't been plugged in for over a week. It died.
Nice.
It took probably 10 minutes for it to be able to get enough charge to be able to boot up. That drove me nuts.
That's why I make sure to dock mine when I'm not using it.
I mean, I brought it down to CIO with us last week, and
okay.
I just haven't unpacked it because I haven't I've been playing Destiny.
That's fair. So other than Sonic,
besides Sonic, we were supposed to play D&D this week, but we had 2 people not be able to make it, so we just had a board game night. You can yell at Eric, don't yell at me. He's the one who didn't invite you.
Oh, I don't care.
We played. I don't know if we ever talked about this game called Blood Rage.
You might have. I listen to when they talk about games, but I don't really retain it.
It's a tabletop board game where you play as different Viking factions, and or like Nordic factions, and you're trying to conquer all of the Nordic gods' homes. So the world tree's in the middle, Yggdrasil, and then all the different areas. So
you have talked about this before.
Yeah. So we played that, and I wrecked. Because the whole point of the game is to gain glory, and you gain glory by different ways. So you're given quest cards that you can gather, and as you do complete the quest, you gain more glory. Or I had a couple abilities where I gained glory for every enemy that died and came back to life, and you get, or not enemy, for every character that you had die and go to Valhalla and then come back to life. Which, there's 3 phases, but at the end of each phase, anything that you had die comes back to life.
Okay.
You even gain glory from dying in Ragnarok. So in each phase, a different section of the map blows up in Ragnarok, and you can never go back to that section. You can gain glory from sitting in that spot. You gain 2 glory or something like that, depending on the phase. So it's really, it's a neat game. It's pretty fun. Eric, kickstarted a game made by the same guys where you're trying to gain honor in feudal Japan.
Okay.
And this time it's a little bit different. Whereas in Blood Rage, all the classes, all the races have the same, and it's just how well you play. This one, it's each class or each house in Japan has a different ability sets and gain glory or gain honor in different ways. So it's whoever gets to the highest honor fastest or something, I guess. It's really cool. Games like that are always fun. And then we also played Betrayal at House on the Hill, which I'm sure I talked about.
Yeah, you have talked about that one.
That one was fun. We did 2 scenarios this time. The first scenario, I was the bad guy. And what did I have to do? Oh, I was the bad guy, and what happened was I had to place a death token, death as in the Grim Reaper, to a character, and they had to play chess against death. And if they lost, they would lose health. If they won, and game was over. And based on rolls, we would determine how much they lost and how much health and whatnot that they would lose. Well, they, because we had so much of the map uncovered at that point, they were able to clear out half of my dice rolls before I even had my first turn as death. So they were able to knock me out pretty quickly, which sucked.
Oh, that does suck.
So they won. The second one, I think Vogel was the betrayer, was the bad guy. And what did he do? What did we do? Oh, he buried somebody somewhere in the house. Somebody that he cast a spell on us and we forgot about. So we had to find where that person was and dig them up. He picked the strongest character in the game, which is a big hulking jock that has the strongest ability. We had a little girl, a little boy, and an old man. So we had to find and dig these. I had this item called a Lucky Rabbit's Foot, which you could re-roll 1 dice and try and. So it was me digging things up, and his dumbass, he was attacking the other 2 before instead of attacking me, where I was getting the dice rolls because I had the highest might, and we were able to beat him barely. Eric and Druten died, and I was able to dig up the person who was buried. And I was like, that's ridiculous. Like, we shouldn't have won because he was in the room where the person was buried, killing the 3 of us. We shouldn't have won. Technically, we should have had to run away, and he was in that room. He would have been able to keep up because his character was a football player.
Okay.
So your speed, quotes, is how far you can move each panel. His speed was like a 9, and my speed was a 4. So yeah, that's what we did instead of D&D. And then I played Destiny.
Okay. I did too, so let's wait on Destiny. Is that...
I think that's it. Yeah.
So I did some stuff other than games.
Oh, boy.
On Saturday, we went into Philly and did a serial killer sightseeing tour.
I think I saw Erica post stuff on that on Facebook.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool. It was more historical than I expected.
Yeah.
So it started at the Independence Visitor Center right on 6th and Market.
Yeah.
And kind of we basically went down to the Betsy Ross house.
Yeah.
We passed Christ Church burial grounds.
Okay.
And then down 2nd Street to Christ Church, basically.
Okay.
And we stopped at the burial grounds, at Betsy Ross's house, and at Christ Church, and a few other kind of like minor stops along the way. Yeah. But it was one of those, like, they would tell us like interesting historical stuff and like some like weird stuff, like so the weird thing was at the burial grounds and in Christ Church, they have like a requirement that like their tour people have to like do the tour. Yeah. So like it wasn't like a tour. We were at both for maybe like 20 minutes. Yeah. But the tour guides that we were actually with couldn't do it. But like, so like we kind of got handed off to like different people at those 2 spots. Yeah. But like the guy at the burial ground, he was telling us about, basically like how some doctors dealt with stuff back in like the 1800s, like during like the yellow fever plague that like hit Philly and everything. Yeah. And then in between stuff, the tour guides were actually telling us about like different serial killers in Philly, like dating back to like H.H. Holmes when he was in Philadelphia. Yeah. and some stuff that was way more recent because, and I never really thought about this before, but the guy kept pointing it out that like the 70s and 80s were like the hot time for serial killers in America.
Oh yeah.
And there were like 3 in Philadelphia, in like the same part of Philadelphia.
Oh Jesus.
2 of them were in North Philly, like literally just blocks apart from each other.
It makes you think that they know each other.
Yeah. One of them is still in jail.
Okay.
Because this was like in the 80s.
Yeah.
The other one was the last person to receive the death penalty in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So, and that was in like 1999.
Damn.
So yeah, it's super weird. They both involved kidnapping women, kind of though.
Yeah, I mean, not always, but it's generally a serial killer is like
So,
women.
So the one guy apparently his intelligence was so far below like average that he couldn't get the death penalty or anything.
Okay.
So he actually had to just get he got life in jail.
Yeah.
But what was happening was he was accidentally killing the women during sex. And then not knowing what to do, he was just hiding the bodies in his apartment. Like literally like putting them on a chair and then piling stuff on the chair because he was a hoarder.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
But yes, we did that, and then we actually went up to like a haunted house thing.
Yeah.
Up near like Six Flags.
Yeah.
In Jackson, called Nightmare at Gravity Hill. It is probably one of the best haunted attractions I've ever been to.
Okay.
It was cheaper than a lot of them are. It was $23. We got lucky. We actually got to go through for free because the people that own it, like their daughter is a rep for the company that Erica works for.
Yeah.
So she let us go through it. It's really long though. It's just one attraction. It ranges like 30 to 45 minutes.
Jesus.
Yeah, like it's a long walk through, a lot of different like setups as you walk through it.
Yeah.
But like it's really well done, and it was really good.
That's not the best one I've ever been to was the Asylum out in PA Penhurst.
Oh, did you do Penhurst?
I've done that years ago, and it was.
We did Penhurst once, and it was the worst. And not because the attraction was bad, because they had no fucking clue what they were doing. I might have told this story before in previous years.
Probably.
But they basically, like, we waited, like, over an hour in a line to get on a bus just to get to Penhurst from the parking lot. And then when we got there, we waited another hour to buy tickets. And then we had to go wait in a 3-hour line just to get to an attraction.
Yeah, yeah.
By the time we got to the attraction, we literally didn't have time to do any of the others.
Yeah, I remember hearing that story. They've done better. Like,
yeah.
they made it up. Like, anytime I've been there, I was able to park right there. So
which is nice. No
having to park far away, but we get there early enough.
I mean, we didn't get there late. We got there like 7-ish.
Yeah. You can buy tickets online, so you can just buy them and print them out right online, so you don't have to wait in line for tickets. And even if you do, we've seen ticket lines; they're not that long.
Yeah.
The lines to get into the attractions are pretty long, but they've kept on moving pretty easily nowadays.
Yeah. So a cool thing that this place that we went to did, they actually have like a big projector playing in front of the line with like scary movies and stuff.
Okay.
So like when you're waiting in line, if the line gets bad, you at least have something.
Yeah.
You're not just standing in line fucking bored out of your mind for like an hour. We're actually thinking about maybe doing Creamy Acres or Bates Motel.
I've been in both of those.
I mean,
Never enjoyed them.
We've been to Creamy Acres before. I like Creamy Acres. Like, it was good last time, but it's got a lot of stuff to do. That's kind of the nice part.
Yeah.
Because it's got, like, 6 attractions.
Yeah.
And it's not much. Like, I think it's, like, $30 for all 6, or it's, like, $60 for, like, the VIP for all 6, so you don't have to wait in line at all.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we might do that or Bates Motel. One of these years we'll have to do Penhurst again.
Yeah, try Penhurst again. Cause
I think the only one that I probably won't bother with is Eastern State.
I've heard Eastern State's gotten better.
So I've never had a bad experience at Eastern State. It's the one thing. It's kind of expensive. There's no parking because it's like just fucking.
It's in the middle of Philly.
Yeah,
in the middle of South Philly.
And the lines are really bad for it.
Is that South Philly?
It's
or
North
is that
Philly.
North Philly, yeah.
Well, not like North Philly, but like it's north enough, and it's just not a great area.
It's South North Philly.
I forget exactly where it's at, actually. I'm going to look. But, you know, like, it's never a bad time, but just, like, the wait and, like, getting there and everything, just...
Yeah.
Like, the the closest, like, yeah, it's on Fairmount Ave. I'm trying near Girard College, Kelly Drive.
Yeah, that's North Philly.
So it's north-ish Philly. So like this is North Philadelphia up here. So it's not quite North Philadelphia is more like LaSalle.
Yeah.
But it's like northwest-ish Philly. It's not super far from like the Franklin Institute and stuff. So like there is parking that you can totally get to and like walk there from, but it's not the nicest area. So,
yeah.
And again, it's kind of expensive. It's just one thing to walk through. It usually only takes like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And like the lines are usually really bad for it.
Yeah.
And like I don't want to wait in line for 2 hours to have a 20-minute experience and then have to drive home.
Yeah, and while you're driving home, you're stuck in traffic with people trying to drive home as well, and it's going to take another hour to drive home.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I was going to talk about Gotham premiere, but you didn't watch it yet.
Yeah, sorry, I completely I wanted to watch it this weekend, but I just completely forgot. I was going to watch it Sunday with football, but after football was over, but what did I do? I think I played Destiny. I was supposed to go over to a friend's house Sunday, and then instead that got canceled. So I watched football and played Destiny, and then went to bed early.
I have some things to say about it, but I'll wait until next week after you've seen it.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch it definitely.
Because there'll be an episode on tomorrow night too.
Yeah.
We did accidentally watch the entire first half of the new season of Fuller House.
Accidentally watched?
We didn't intend to watch it all. It just we weren't doing anything that day, and we started it and just let it play.
Yeah.
And it was only 9 episodes.
Yeah.
Because they did a longer season. It's 18 total, but they split it. So the first half came out this past week, and the second half comes out in November or December.
I'll have to watch. I thought you were talking about the last.
No, season 3 just came out.
The one that came out at the end of or the beginning of summer. I don't know.
No, so they haven't had a Fuller House since last Christmas.
Okay.
So it was the first season came out spring-ish 2016, and the second season came out December 2016.
Yeah.
For season 3, they did an 18 episode order, cut it in half, like 9 and 9.
Yeah.
The first 9 just aired like this week, and then the second 9 are due to come out in December.
Yeah. Is the acting still as bad as it was in the
I
first
mean,
season?
it's just as cheesy and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It hits this weird nostalgic thing.
I think they do that on purpose.
I mean,
they're like totally making fun of themselves in the show, the original show, and that's like they're making it campy because it's like, look, this show is ridiculous. Let's just make fun of it, but have people remember it.
Yeah, I mean, like there were some good episodes, some not so good episodes. Like all the characters you want to see are there. Like the Jesse, Danny, and Joey all show up.
Yeah.
Becky shows up. Steve's there most of the season.
Yeah.
Because like the whole season is about it's somewhat about him preparing to get married.
Yeah, that's right. Because she was
apparently going to pick Steve, but then Steve showed up and said he was engaged to CJ.
Yeah.
So she just went with Matt.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It is not a great show as far as like writing and everything goes, but I don't know. It does. It just hits that nostalgia thing. I want them to do a Disney World episode though. Because like back in the 90s, like TGIF, all those shows had at least one episode where they went to Disney World.
Well, they had, and I remember Full House had like 2 or 3, and Stephanie won the rubbing on the lamp.
No, it was Michelle. Steph was supposed to win, but Michelle cut in front of her.
Yeah.
So Michelle got the 3 wishes.
And then her third wish was to have Michelle be the princess or whatever. Or have Stephanie be the princess.
No, it was like to have like her... no, that's right. That's right, because she ended up like disappearing and no one knew where she was for a while. And
yeah.
Yeah, but that was like a 2-part. Family Matters went to Disney World. Boy Meets World went to Disney World, I believe.
Was it World or Land?
It's always been World.
I'm pretty sure Full House is Land, though.
No, it was
because
Disney
Full House is in California.
Yeah, but they went to Disney World.
Okay, because maybe. I could have swore it was Disneyland and Full House.
The family takes a trip to Disney World.
Okay.
Yeah, all of those shows they went to Disney World.
You know what it is? They actually they filmed it at Disneyland, but they said they were in Disney World because at that time, some of the resorts that they were showing, the people like the cast staying at weren't Disney.
Well,
World
I mean,
resorts.
yeah, but all the shots in Disney were they probably weren't even filmed at Disneyland, the resorts.
Yeah.
But all of the shots like in the parks were actually in the parks because they had the castle.
Okay.
Like,
but isn't
Disney,
Cinderella's castle in Disneyland as well? Just not as
no,
much
it's a
better?
different. I mean, I think they have a castle there, but it looks different.
Okay.
I think it is still technically Cinderella's castle, maybe, but they don't look the same.
Okay.
Like, you can look at like the entrance to Disney World and the entrance to Disneyland, and they are very obviously two different places.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I watched that, and then I finally played Guardians of the Galaxy TellTale Episode 3.
How was it?
It was better than Episode 2.
Okay.
I found by the end of it, I cared a little bit more than I had. Because going into it, like, I didn't have, like, any desire to play it. Where, like, I want to play Batman when that comes out next week.
Yeah.
But, like, I just had... like, that's why it took me a month to get around to playing it.
Yeah.
Just because, like, Episode 1 was alright. Episode 2 just did nothing for me. Episode 3 started to bring it back around.
Okay.
I'm still not totally sold on it. Like, I don't know. I think they're going too heavy on the cinematic side of Marvel.
Yeah.
Like, it's too much like the movies. But, so, like, I don't know. It just doesn't... some of the characters just don't quite feel right.
Yeah.
Because they kind of... They push real hard for the movies, but then some of the interactions just don't fit the movies.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what's been throwing me off. But yeah, I mean... It had the normal Telltale problems, like frame rate wasn't great, didn't crash or anything, but little buggy, things a little jumpy.
Yeah.
Controls in those games are never awesome. Most of the QuickTime stuff was alright, and they started doing some nice stuff where they kind of blend some of the QuickTime stuff when it's not super QuickTimey, like where you don't have like 2 seconds to hit the button.
Yeah.
They start blending it into the actual like objects in the game rather than just big prompts on it. So like there's one point where there's a trigger prompt for Gamora, and you have a little bit of time for it, and they actually put the R2 like button, like they kind of embed it in her gun on the side. Okay. Which just looks cooler than just R2 flashing on the screen. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm obviously going to finish the game up. It's not the best Telltale game. Yeah. And then I guess, yeah, Destiny.
This thing hates me.
It does.
It really does.
Stop moving it.
It started moving down on its own. Like, whatever. I'll deal with it.
It's gonna fall.
I'm still in frame.
You have to tighten the bottom. We got a new table. It's a little smaller, like we said at the beginning. The microphone stands don't quite clip on as well, though.
I'm just going to hold it from here on out.
Don't do that, because it's just going to cause a bunch of noise. What did you do? You're tightening a wall.
No, because it's that part that's falling. It's not that. I mean, I walked in, it was leaning already. It's this part that's falling.
Oh, yeah, it is. Look at that. Yeah, just sit like that. You're fine.
There we go. Sorry about that.
Whoops.
Technical difficulties.
Everything's okay, though.
Yeah, we got it.
But yeah, so Destiny 2.
Yeah, I played Destiny 2, because that's my life right now. And, we did the Nightfall yesterday, which is super easy. The Nightfall this week there is no way to increase the timer, so they give you 22 minutes to complete the Nightfall.
Doesn't all your stuff recharges super quick?
Yes. So you are throwing grenades left and right, and if you have the right spec, I was using the right spec, a void warlock with the top tier, right? No, the bottom tier abilities, I believe it is.
Why is that the right spec?
Because every time you hit something with your melee, it recharges things.
Oh, okay.
So already your grenades are charging pretty quickly. But now it's charging quicker because you throw a grenade, hit something, throw a grenade, hit something.
I think the Dawnblade does that too, doesn't it?
It might. I don't know. I was using in my opinion, the Void has the best grenades. Because it has the Nova Grenade, which they all have the Nova Grenade. But it has the Nova Grenades and it has the Scatter Grenades. The The Dawnblade has the sticky grenades, which aren't really that powerful.
I like them though.
I don't. They're boring. They've
I
never,
like that they stick.
Yeah, I like that too, but they were a lot stronger in Destiny 1 than they are in this one. Like, if they stuck in Destiny 1, they would kill at least 2 enemies.
Oh, okay.
And this one, they barely kill 1 if they stick. So it's a little frustrating on that point. And then the lightning has, it's got the Nova, it's got a lightning ball, and it's got a chain lightning, which... The chain lightning is they each have some sort of chain one where you throw it. And
I need to get that still. I have like the quest. I just keep forgetting to go do it.
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to fully upgrade it once you do it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of points. I never even put points into Void.
Yeah, Void is really good. I like Void.
I don't like its ultimate. It's super at all. Like, I fucking hate it.
Well, it works. I generally use the top tier ultimate. Because it hits and then it breaks off into pieces and then hits multiples. And then or you can shoot it and it blows up and breaks off into pieces.
I don't know. The only time I used it was in the mission where you get it, and I didn't enjoy it. I like the flaming sword.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, the flaming sword's awesome.
Especially because it's one of those where I jump a lot, especially because I like warlocks do that floaty thing. Yeah. So I spend a lot of time, like, especially in boss fights and stuff like that, I'll jump and float kind of in front of or behind, like a direct line of sight, basically. Yeah. Pop that, and then I can just sit there and just wail on them with that.
That's what I do with everything. Any aspect of the game, I will jump. If I'm using a grenade, I'm jumping, floating, and I'm throwing a grenade down. Or if I'm using,
I mean, I do that a lot.
If I'm using the Void Special, I'm jumping in the air so I could get a full view and then aiming straight down at what I'm shooting at.
I don't do great with shooting while jumping, particularly with like a scout rifle.
The Dawnblade should have an ability where you hover if you aim down sights.
Yeah, no, I have the I use the top tier stuff on the right hand side where it lets you aim while you're jumping. Yeah. And it's not so much that, it's just, it seems like it doesn't, even though, like, I am right on them, headshots never seem to hit. Yeah. So, like, body shots are fine. But, like, generally, like, it takes, like, 4 body shots where if you just get 1 headshot, like...
Yeah, I mean, they've made precision kills a little bit, or precision hits a little bit harder in this one. Like, the precision is a little bit that more on you.
I have no problems with it while I'm on the ground. So, generally, like, if I need to do that stuff, I generally, I jump around when I'm using any sort of special thing. Yeah. Or if I have, like, an auto rifle or a pulse rifle where I'm just kind of going to be laying it on anyway. Yeah. But when I'm trying to actually do precision with, like, a scout rifle, that's where I tend to, like... I just keep running. Like, I never stop moving. Yeah. Which usually is what fucks me up because I'll end up, like, running off, like, the edge of something. Yeah. Because I'm usually running backwards and, like, zigzagging and stuff.
I was having issues with it the first run for the Nightfall because I kept forgetting that certain spots we were in didn't have floor. Like, you could walk right off. And I was getting so pissed off. Like, fucking no floors. This is bullshit. Like, I was getting so mad because we had the Rat King quest line. And me and Eric had to finish that with 5 minutes left in order to get the Rat King exotic. The first run we did, we finished it in 2 minutes. We got to the boss with 5 minutes left. We killed the boss in 3 minutes.
Nice.
The second time we ran it 3 times last night. First time we ran it, it was just like a test run. We just ran it to see how well we can do it. Seeing that we were able to get it done with 3 minutes left, I was like,
just
guys...
Just the 2 of you, or did you have 3?
Me, him, and Marone. The second time we ran it, we were a little bit more organized. I remembered that I had the Rift ability, which is, like, heals when you stand in it.
Oh, yeah, I use that all the time.
Oh, I was popping, like, every 5 steps I was dropping it down.
Right, because it recharges quicker.
It was recharging quicker. So, we were able to get through the first area, which took us about 5 minutes, in about 2 this time. So we were able to kill 3 minutes off that. We would have had it the second run, but it's in this. You probably haven't done the strike, but it's at one point there are lasers that you have to run through, but you have to time your runs properly, or else if the laser hits you, you're dead automatically, and it starts you back at the beginning.
Is there like section. 3 different sections of lasers?
Yeah.
I did do that one.
Okay, one of them is like a dropping one. Another one is like a timed one.
Yeah.
And then the other one they move.
Yeah, I did that.
All right, so
they never killed me getting hit by them. They usually knocked me down and I had to wait.
That's because you weren't on the Nightfall. The Nightfall extra
More
damage gets dealt to you.
So is the Nightfall just the same strikes, just with like stipulations?
It's just a strike with stipulations.
Oh, that's kind of disappointing.
No, that's how it's always been. It's a harder strike.
I thought it was like a different strike.
No, it's these same strikes that are set up. It was no, actually, I think that was a daily mission or a weekly mission even that had it. It wasn't even a strike. I think there was one thing. I don't think it was a strike. It might have just been a weekly mission in Destiny 1 when Taken King came out, where if you did it in a certain amount of time, you were able to do something extra to try and get a special weapon. I can't remember if it was a strike or if it was a mission, though.
Well, knowing that it's just like the regular strikes, I'm even less... I feel less miss out. Like, I feel less like I'm missing out by never doing the Nightfalls.
I mean, you still do miss out a little bit because it does make it a lot easier to level up, but you still need to be at least another 10 to 15 levels higher than where you are to be able to hold up in the Nightfalls.
Like, yeah, I think it says like 240, but generally you want at least 10 to 20 higher than what it says.
You want to be like 260, 265.
So it's just one of those like I'm just gonna I'll keep playing stuff until I don't have anything to play anymore, and I'll keep getting gear until it just stops going up.
Yeah.
So like I'll hit like the 260-ish area, 265-ish.
You'll hit 265, and that'll be your cap. Yeah. Unless you do the dailies or the weeklies, the weekly stuff. So the weekly Crucible, the weekly Flashpoint, and then collecting your clan gear. That'll get you higher.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, because they're all powerful engrams, whereas legendary engrams cap at 265.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I mean, I did a little bit of Crucible last week.
Yeah.
Mostly, I only kept doing it because I realized that in like 2 matches, I did 2.5 of the like challenges.
Yeah.
So I only had like half of one challenge left, and I'm like, well, I might as well just keep playing because I'll keep getting like the points for the milestone.
Yeah.
And I'll complete this other milestone that said complete challenges on any planet.
Yeah.
So I did that. I probably played maybe like 9 or 10 matches.
Yeah.
And like, I like a bunch of them. I really hate the capture the area. Like that is just so unfun. Even I was actually on a team that like we had like the other 2 people had their shit together, or 3 people had their shit together.
Yeah.
And like everyone was like moving in a group and all, and it still just wasn't a fun time.
Yeah, I've been in Supremacy, and I hate Supremacy.
That's one where you have to pick up everybody.
Yeah,
right?
kill confirm.
See, I like that one.
I don't like it just because the people I play with never understand that you have to get the thing.
See, I'm really good at that. Like, I'm risky, so like I will just run at something if there's guys there and get it and just keep going. Especially if like somebody on my team dies, I will run and pick their thing up and just keep going.
Yeah.
And like, sometimes I die, but more often than not, like I manage to just run away.
Yeah.
Which suits me just fine.
Yeah.
And then I'll circle back and try and take them out. But yeah, I think I had a bunch of Supremacy matches, and in all the matches other than probably the capture the area stuff, I was at least never bottom on my team. I was usually like 2. Like
when I was playing last week, I was generally first or second, and I was always losing. That's how you know how bad my teams were, because I was first or second.
Yeah,
I was always losing.
I was never first. Well, we probably lost as many as we won.
Yeah.
Or I lost as many as I won because it was always different teams.
Yeah.
But like I was still usually like middle of the pack. Like I didn't embarrass myself.
Yeah.
Which was nice. But it's one of those things where like I don't like not being able to pick the mode. So anytime that like the capture the area came up, like I was immediately just like my interest in continuing to play after that just was 0.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would let you pick which mode or give you different play sets. Yeah,
because like I like the killing ones. Like they're the ones that I want to do.
Yeah. It started to fall again.
I noticed. Good catch.
It's not me.
No, like I don't think it's clipped onto the table, right? I mostly because you were messing with it earlier, and I think I think it actually has to be loosened, readjusted, and then retightened.
Yeah, well,
But we're almost done.
next time we'll figure it out.
Next time I'm just gonna give you the fucking stand-up mic on the table.
There we go. My elbow's down. I can just hold it up with a finger. My arm won't get tired.
But
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I still have to do my Crucible this week. They did nerf how much you have to do it this time.
oh, well, that's
So
good.
you don't have to do it. You don't have to do 10 matches.
I mean, I had to do more than that to actually hit the thing because I don't think I hit it last week because
Yeah, they nerfed it, so you don't have to do as many this week, which is nice.
I might do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I find it fun. That's the last weekly milestone I have to do, with the exception of the raids.
Have you done the raid at all yet?
Not yet. I might try to do it this weekend. I don't know. I have to find a team to be able to do it with, or do a guided games thing. But I still need to be a little bit more powerful if I'm going to do a guided.
So what did you say your power was?
I am 270, or no, 283, something like that. 270.
So
279 to 283. Something
So
like that.
I've heard multiple people, different places that have done the raid say that like 280 to 290 is good. 290 is like the sweet spot to not feel like an asshole running it.
Yeah.
It's basically like if you're like 280s and everyone you're with is like closer to 290 or higher, you shouldn't have any real problems.
Yeah.
If most of your people are skewing lower between like the 260 to 270, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like I know Giant Bomb streamed for like 8 hours today doing just the raid, and they didn't complete it.
They suck.
So they had one guy that did it already,
Okay.
but they purposely told him not to just walk them through everything. So they had to figure everything out on their own,
Yeah.
which there's a lot of weird mechanics in
Yeah.
the raid. So they had no prior knowledge to that. None, like they purposely went into it like we're not looking anything up because they were doing it for a stream. So it was supposed to be like it wasn't supposed to be this surgical strike. But so he wasn't allowed to help them unless like it was like a serious like we have been stuck here, we cannot figure it out, then you can tell us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was like 8 hours, and I told you before, like another stream I had watched where apparently it took the girl 3 more tries before the group was able to get through it.
Yeah.
Just because of some of the mechanics. And that third try that she finally got through it, apparently the team she was with, everyone was like 290 plus.
Yeah.
So like they were experienced in it already, and they were not overpowered, but their power was like higher than what the recommended, so they just didn't have any issues.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so if you do it this weekend, you might not finish it this weekend.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't finish it. I want to give it a shot. I want to do it so it's done. If I do it now and then don't do it ever again, I'm not mad.
Well, that's good.
Because I actually like the multiplayer in this game.
Which is good. I mean,
So I'll play this game for the multiplayer rather than for the raid.
yeah, I mean, like we've talked before, like I could care less about the raid. I'm having fun running around doing stuff on the planets for the most part. And
Yeah.
at a certain point, I'll be done that, and I'll put the game away and probably not touch it again.
Yeah, until maybe expansion.
Maybe. I didn't buy the pass, so
I'm gonna get the season pass. I still need to get my day 1 weapon that I never put the code in for yet.
yeah, it's one of those if I happen to see that like DLC and like is worthwhile and has stuff that like I'd be interested in playing, then yeah, maybe I'll get the season pass.
Yeah.
But I wasn't gonna buy it up front because if all they add is say like if their DLC is geared around stuff that I'm not interested in, like strikes and raids, then what's the point?
I mean, it'll probably be storyline content with a new raid, new strikes.
Yeah, which like if there's storyline content and it seems interesting just from what I can pick up like reading articles and stuff, then like maybe like it depends like how interesting it sounds and how much it's kind of worth.
I'm hoping they incorporate a new alien race.
That'd be nice because I don't know. These were all just the same races from the first game, right?
Yeah, but Taken was incorporated very late.
Right, because they were part of the Taken King.
Yeah, but at this point, it's been two expansions with let's see. The Fallen had the Hive had technically 2, but they had the first one and then they had Taken King cuz Oryx was what's his name's dad, which was the second one. Then the Fallen were 2 expansions. Technically. House of Wolves and then the second one. Or the last
House of Wolves was before Taken King.
Yeah. So there was the Fallen had 2 DLCs.
Oh, okay.
And the Hive technically had 1/2 DLCs because even though Taken are its own thing. So and now if you're gonna now they finally brought the Cabal in to actually have a reason to be there and not just have a new enemy. So the Cabal have a reason. The Vex have always kind of had a reason. It'd be nice to just see a new alien race.
Okay. I don't know about you, but I think that might be a show.
I think so too, seeing as how we're falling apart.
Yeah.
Literally.
I'm tired too. It's been a long day.
I've been tired and yeah.
Anyway, thanks for listening and or watching. If you want to get in touch with us, send us an email, some correspondence. You can send us an email to social@one-quest.com.
Yeah.
Social@one-quest.com. There we go. If you want to find more of our content, you can find it on one-quest.com. If you'd like to help support us, you can head over to patreon.com/onequest, which is down in the corner over there. If you're listening to this and not watching the video, but you'd like to see the video, you can go to youtube.com/onequestvideo, which is right below me. And then we also are on social media.
Yeah.
We're on Facebook at /1_quest. We're on Twitter at @1_. I did that wrong. Twitter is at @1_quest. Facebook is /onequestonline.
Yes.
There we go. I fixed it.
You got it.
And otherwise, you can find all of our podcasts on all the different podcast services around the internet. iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, TuneIn. Am I missing anything?
Did you mention Patreon?
I did mention Patreon.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
I figured. But yeah, that'll be the show. It's not this weekend, but next weekend is New York Comic Con, which I'll be at.
Nice.
We might have some more video content from there because I'm going to try and do some video while I'm there.
Okay.
And stitch something together after I get back. Maybe a little walkthrough recap of sort of what there is to do and see and experience.
What there is to do, be a sheep in the cattle.
There's a lot of people. So
be a sheep in the herd. That's what there is to do.
Basically. But yeah, so that'll probably be coming. New York Comic Con is the 5th through the 8th. It's Thursday, October 5th through Sunday, October 8th. I will be there on that Friday and Sunday.
Okay.
So, yeah. Otherwise, we'll be back next week with a normal audio-only version of the show. So we'll see you then.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, those people.